Coach a minor hockey team, kids look up to you, and like it or not, you're a role model. Good luck finding a better role model than Tony Silveira, a man with remarkable courage.
Don't fall.
So much of what Tony Silveira does puts him in the category of common man, a hockey coach, a father, and husband. You wouldn't know it. Tony has tried to keep a part of his life hidden, and up until now, he's been pretty good at it.
But Simonov wasn't a well woman.
All his life, Tony has struggled with reading and writing.
When you're an adult, you don't want to go around telling people that you struggle reading and writing and with literacy. It's a tough thing, especially when you're a husband and a dad and you're an adult.
Tony Silveira is hardly alone in his struggles. 5 years ago, former hockey coach, now Senator Jacques Demers, spilled the beans on his life. 15 years in the NHL, Demers didn't know how to read or write. He coached more than 1,000 games, won a Stanley Cup. All the while, he was able to cover up his well-hidden secret. He was illiterate.
People get pretty good too at covering it up.
Amazingly that the stories that people will tell in order to cover, oh, I forgot my glasses, oh, my arm is really sore, could you help me fill that out?
When Tony Silveira finally went for help, he went to Chris Gerard's organization, People, Words, and Change.
I can't tell you how many people say, well, I've carried your ad around in my wallet for 6 months before I got to make the phone call.
I carried a phone number around with me for about a month before I made the call.
Tony made the call a year ago and now meets once a week with George MacDonald,
From that perspective,
who volunteers his time.
a victim of years of domestic abuse.
His ability has gone by leaps and jumps throughout the whole year, where I think feels much more confident.
The homicide is not justifiable.
Tony's parents were new to Canada. He spoke Portuguese at home.
When I'd have anything from school, bringing it home, they couldn't help me, so it was tough growing up.
He made it through high school, trained as a mechanic, and learned to hide the fact that he had trouble reading and writing.
Being in the trade or being at work as a mechanic, I used to get co-op students. And I told them, I had asked them, so why do you want to be a mechanic? And they say, oh, I like cars, I want to work on engines, I've always liked to work with my hands. And I'd ask them right off the bat, how do you do in English in school? And probably 90% of them did poorly. And I knew right away there's me. That's why you're getting into the trade.
And that's why Tony Silveira is telling his story now, letting people know there is no shame in getting help.
If this helps somebody pick up the phone and make the call, that'd be great.
And we have included the link to People, Words, and Change on our website, ctvottawa.ca. As Tony has showed us, there are great rewards in making the call. That's sports. I'm Terry Marcotte.